Alright, in this video I'll discuss with you the 7 strategies for or 7 factors or realities you need to keep in mind when joining a new company or when, applying for a job. Now part 1 of this video is, I'll put the link in the comments or description, or you can see the screenshot. The first point was about salary, okay? And because that video went a bit too long, I decided I'll make this into 2 parts. Others, sometimes it can get really long, okay? So the first part is salary. When you join any new company, what should be your salary? What are the factors you should keep in mind? So I discussed all of these points in that video, which was part 1. And in this video, I'll speak of the remaining 6. So total of 7 points that you need to keep. If you have any questions, comment down below. And if I feel they're legit or they need elaboration, I'll make a new video. So the first factor when you join a company or apply for a job, obviously you consider salary. The mistake that people make is they generally see higher salary means I'll join. That shouldn't be the case. So you check the previous video why and how you come with a figure. For negotiations for a higher salary, that I'll make a separate video. Comment if you want advanced negotiation skills on salary. The second point that you need to consider when you join a company is the most important person in that company. The most important person is not your colleagues, is not the entire management. Okay, it is your immediate boss. Whether you like it or not, your boss will decide your future. Your boss will decide how you're perceived or portrayed to the management. Your boss will decide whether he'll make your life a living hell or he'll make it a heaven, whether he'll be a mentor to you or whether he'll be a thorn under your foot. I mean, I can't emphasize enough how much your immediate boss determines your longevity, your success, your growth, your happiness in the company. People generally, when they go for the interview, they'll meet the HR guy, they'll meet the technical people, they will meet the finance, for salary or whatever. The person you should really pay attention to is the guy who you will be reporting to. That is the guy you have to absolutely analyze. Is he someone, because remember this, you'll be spending how many hours a day? 8 to 12 hours a day looking at this guy's face, calling him sir or madam or giving them the respect of being your elder. And even if you call him by the name, he's still your boss. And he's the one who can decide how your stay in the company is going to be. And if he doesn't like you, I'm telling you, your work and your career is going to be the most miserable moments of your life. And if you factor in out of 24 hours, 8 to 12 hours you spend only at your workplace, man, that is living hell, man. So always make sure you focus on the boss. You know what is he like and how you can get along with him. And if you can't get along with your boss, no matter how great the job is, it's always going to be living hell. Especially, and I think you'll especially feel the pain when there are promotions or transfers or requests considered. The next one comes below that. That is number 3. Nobody is your friend in the corporate world. Nobody. In fact, your biggest enemy are your colleagues in the department. Because that is where the clannish groups takes place. That is where gossip starts. That is where information gets leaked. You can be seated on a desk doing your own thing. The person who has access to what you're doing or sees what you're doing, he's the one who is actually having his version of your data. And if tomorrow the management has to find out, is this guy actually working? How is he? They will ask your colleagues. And you can be rest assured, people might diplomatically, he's okay, he's nice, whatever. But if you have someone who is, like they say, the chamcha or the pet of the boss, then your life is in both in your boss's hands and this guy's hands. So obviously, what is the solution? You become his best friend and take him out? Even that will not work. The simple strategy is, just think it's your boss only who's sitting there. Sit and do your work. If you focus on doing your work and you keep everything in writing for records, and there's a clear-cut communication for what was expected out of you and how you can give these measurables back, you're safe. Otherwise, problem. Point number 4. This one people don't seem to understand. When I tell them, see, listen, don't work, or rather work harder on yourself than on your job. But most people, what they do is they work very hard on the job and less on themselves. What do I mean? Let's say you're working in a company and you have to deliver 100 units. You'll work your ass off to deliver the 100 units on time. Obviously, the management will say, oh, 100 units you can do. Let's push for more, 105, 110. They will do their best, or they'll see you free and they'll give you more work. So what happens is you end up working more and more and more and they'll squeeze out, like they say, the last drop of blood from you. And I realized this in my career early on, that all these guys are working like dogs and slogging. But the day they leave, nobody remembers them. And then when you go apply for another job, you only have your version of the stories to tell, but nothing to show for it. You can only say, I did this, I did that. But 20 years, let's say, for example, you focused on a corporate company. You have lost those 20 years. No, you can't carry that value with you. Rather than that, I focused 20 years, let's say, for example, on my brand, my business, my growth. I can carry it with me wherever I like. And this is one of the reasons why I was able to move to the island of Samui, because I worked on myself for so many years. Just imagine if I gave the best years of my life to a company, corporate company, and then I resigned and came here. I'm not carrying anything of value for myself, right? Again, I start from zero. And when you join a new company, you start from zero. So always work hard on you. Now, obviously, you'll say, Loy, how can we do that? If you're interested in knowing that, just let me know. I'll make a separate video, because if I start focusing on that, that'll be another it'll drag this video, which I don't want to do. So comment down below if you need more information on how to work more hard on yourself than on your job without getting caught. Point number 5. Hard work is exceptionally important to succeed. But wait, let me complete. So before you jump the gun, hard work is very important. You have to work long hours. That is also very important. Whether you like it or not, the guy who works on time and leaves versus the guy who works a few extra hours and shows extra output and performance, the second one is always preferred. But that doesn't mean just because you worked hard, you will succeed. Like imagine a case where you are asked to work 8 hours. You said, okay, let me work 10 hours to impress the boss. Then another guy works 12 hours. So now you decided to work 12 hours. Then another 4-5 guys work 14 hours. Then I go, sheesh man, I'll also work 14 hours. Then you find another guy working 16 hours. I mean, what are you going to do? Outwork each other and sleep in the office for 24 hours a day? So that is where politics comes. I have always told people, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Your contacts, your connections, your networks, not at the lower level, at the higher level, will determine your success. And always focus on the most powerful person you can be in touch with, even higher than your boss. But don't let your boss know your strategy. The highest person is the best. But the caveat to this rule is, if you know the highest person, take advantage, or rather use that person as quickly as possible. I'll give you an example what I mean by that. There's this guy who was a client of mine who was working in this exchange house in the Middle East, and he took my mentoring, and he told me, Loy, I follow you this advice. The owner knows me very well. The owner is old. He's an old man, and he has known me 20 years. I said, boss, knowing him for 20 years is not going to help. Take advantage. Make sure that he gets you your promotion and, higher level. Because the guy was just in his comfort zone. No, it's not good. No, you have to. I pushed him to ask him. And he finally gathered up the courage and finally asked the owner. And lo and behold, he was considered for the promotion. But here's where the twist takes place. The owner got, I think, heart attack or stroke or something, and his sons took over. Father had decided that he'll get a promotion. Son came, said, no need, I want a guy who's Arab. Finished. And that also the Arab guy who got the promotion turned out to be a guy who knows lesser than him and was not proved himself. In fact, that turned out to be a mistake. And once again, this guy had to restart and ask. And then they decided to give someone with the white passport because they thought he has much better English and all. This fellow didn't know how to communicate very fluently, and total mess. So that is why one is get to know the topmost or most powerful guy and then leverage it as quickly as possible. Make sure that you let them know you want more responsibilities, you want more challenges, you want to be considered. They should put you in the limelight. Make them notice the work that you're doing. Don't expect one day they'll give me from their goodness of their heart. That never happens. It's better you take it now. Later on will never come. So remember, hard work, just logging your ass off in the company and competing with others for long duration is not going to amount to any success. Point number 5 is, I think, one of the common disease that almost everyone has in the corporate world, and that is being in the comfort zone. They give you a good job, they give you a good office, good table, good chair, good secretary, dummy designation. You're so happy. And then to play the ultimate hand of manipulation, they give you a certificate of appreciation, a cheap paper, laminated, printed out, which hardly costs less than $1. In a nice frame, they'll give it to you in front of all your colleagues, clap hands, give you a trophy. I've done this, I played around. People all of a sudden forget that salary is important. They forget this trophy doesn't feed you. This certificate, this printout with the signature is, you can use it as toilet paper to wipe your ass. Because tomorrow when they have to terminate you, this will just be a souvenir left on your wall. It has zero value, man. It's like your college degree. You just have it. Nobody cares about it. And the reason why companies give certificate of appreciation or all these papers or gimmicks or watch or pen and this and that is just to make sure that you don't ask for what matters. And what matters is money, not even your designation. You can have a manager, you can have senior regional head, all these big dummy designations. If it doesn't match with the money and the authority, money first, then it's a problem. So be careful. If you're stagnating, if you're in the same company, same job, same position, same salary, more than 3 years, it's a massive, massive red flag. 3 years same, boss, you're stagnating, you're in your comfort zone, because inflation hits every year, purchasing power decreases every year. Your value decreases, man, as time goes by, especially after 40. You better ask for more money and get out of your comfort zone. Point number 7, the final point. And that is, I call it the the bullshit, the BS, the sweet sounding promises. Yeah, we will be evaluating your performance. After 3 months, you'll get a promotion. After 6 months, we'll give you a price hike. End of the year, you're up for promotion. They'll give you a lot of sweet words, man. I can assure you, no matter what they do, even if they hug you in front of everyone, they cut the cake, celebrate your birthday, make you feel like a buddy, you're my family, he's the most trusted guy, all these words mean nothing. In the corporate world, people throw a lot of words, a lot of sentences, a lot of stuff goes on. It means nothing. And remember this much, in the corporate world, the higher up you go, the higher up people are, the more versatile and more smooth they are with giving you bullshit, giving you lies, manipulating you, playing mind games. I'll tell you, they are at a different league. The reason why they are up there is because they are better. And they'll be able to analyze you in seconds and give you the exact words, phrases, or feel-good statements that will lower your guard and give you hope. And hope is a dangerous thing in the corporate world because that means it's not happening now. It's happening somewhere in the future. And the future never comes. You always go future, next. So they'll be very good at giving you bullshit. So these are the total 7 points that you need to keep in mind when selecting a job or, the strategy that you need when selecting a company. Remember this much. The corporate world is a cold-blooded, it's like a gladiator's pit. And the worst part is everyone appears to be your friend. They are all wolf in sheep's clothing. And everyone has their own agenda. Everyone is two-faced. Nobody will tell you their true intentions. But you're there as another small cog in the wheel. And you're supposed to do your bit. And everyone else will be looking at everyone else, making sure this guy doesn't come up. I have to come up. So it's a competition. It's like crabs, trying to get out of the bucket. Every crab will pull you down. And the one at the guy at the top who reaches there has reached there not just because of outstanding performance or because he kisses ass, but because of all the variables. That is why people like Satya Nadella or even Sundar Pichai don't assume there's only the goodness in their heart or they're so nice and so understanding. No. You have not known their dark side, you do not see their dark side, and they'll never reveal it. To reach at the top, you have to be as sharp, as cold-blooded, and as corporate as you can get. That is why whenever you hear CEOs talking of banks and all that, they will talk as if they're benefiting the world and the pharmaceutical industry. Yeah, they'll give all empowering words, but they'll never tell you the truth, which is why they're paid billions, millions of dollars, not billions. Like Tim Cook, when he comes out of the Apple, small changes, very tiny. But the statements that they'll give out the Apple, this is the best ever iPhone. Oh, mind-blasting, fantastic, like I say, no? Anyway, don't fall for the corporate world, their lies, their bullshit, and don't think anyone is your friend there. It's a battlefield where the sharpest, the smoothest talkers and the best of the best survive. So get ready to play the best game that you can, logically, but present it in a nice emotional package. Hope this video helped you with these points. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you need any video like this, feel free. I'll read your comments and maybe share a new video. Guys, take care. This is me signing off.